we're facing a national crisis. We're facing a systemic problem. It's not isolated in terms of geography. And it's not isolated in terms of who it will impact. I live in Cherry Gardens, and I woke up this morning to find a neighbor literally 2 gates down who lives in a gated community, who is a manager of an international company, who had been stabbed at about 4 o'clock this morning. Thankfully, not fatally, is in stable condition in hospital being treated. But when we talk about growth of 5% in 4 years, if persons who are investing, if their managers don't feel safe before, not just our international managers, but local entrepreneurs and investors and employees who have to go to work when companies are trying to operate shifts to maximize productivity, all of this is going to be thwarted if we don't resolve the crime problem. We warned from the time of the budget, Dr. Phillips warned. During the sectoral debate, I reiterated that it was incompatible with the government and the EGC statement that crime and citizen security is the #1 priority of government, and yet the allocation in the budget had been reduced. 2017-18 was significantly less than 2016-17. And if we even go back 2 years, we will see that even comparing it to this year's budget to 2 years ago, we still, in real terms, have a lower allocation of funds, a lower allocation of resources than we did then. And if you separate it between salaries and utilities, and look at what the police actually have for capital expenditure, for upgrading their software, for repairing police stations, for purchasing motor vehicles, in real terms it's much less than it was 2 years ago. So we have been critical in a constructive way that the priorities of the budget are not aligned with the stated policy priorities of the government. We have been critical of the misguided used vehicle policy, which the truth of the matter is the police have not seen the benefit of either new or used vehicles, because they've still not delivered on the 200 contract that was originally supposed to have been delivered in February. Then we got a new date for May, and still out of the 200, we understand only about 30 odd vehicles have been delivered. So the police are being, in a sense, given basket to carry water. They're stretched for resources, and if they're to respond to a surge, they need to, in the short term, have the ability to conduct saturation patrolling in multiple police divisions across Jamaica. It requires funds to maintain these, whether it be a mobile reserve company or a JDF company, or both, to maintain them in varied parts of Jamaica where they're not normally accommodated. It requires money to put them up, to feed them, to additional fuel for vehicles, etc., to support these intensified operations.